So we're going to talk a little bit about Flint, Michigan, and if it could happen in Ames. Spoiler alert, it's unlikely to happen in Ames, and we'll talk about why. But with that being said, Flint was a horrible tragedy that actually could have been prevented. It all started when the city of Flint changed where they got their water from. It was a result of poor decisions made with little technical information and usually for the wrong reasons, most of those being the financial bottom line. The community was under financial debt. They had significant financial debt and were under control of an emergency manager. Flint, Michigan, for those of you who don't know, was the home of General Motors. It was founded in the early 1900s. They were a high water user, and so the early infrastructure was sized to take a lot of water to that facility. But those factories closed in the 1980s, leading to some of the crisis. Flint didn't happen overnight. It was a series of poor decisions made over several years. And basically what happened is by changing the water source, it changed the chemistry. One thing to note is that the lead wasn't in the water. It was in the pipes, and it had always been there. But unfortunately, it wasn't until the city citizens, the residents of Flint, really started becoming vocal and pretty upset about their water quality that people took action on the situation in Flint. So I've talked about water chemistry, and that's the whole idea of what's going on with Flint and why we feel we have good control here in the City of Ames. You can have aggressive water, which basically attacks the pipes, or you can have depositing water, which puts a film or a scale on the pipes. So those are the two extremes that would happen. Here in Ames, we prefer to have a slightly depositing water. It provides a thin eggshell coating over the pipes and thus providing some protection. When I talk about water chemistry, we look at a lot of different factors, and one of them is pH, and we're looking at a fairly lengthy time period here. The green line, or the fairly straight line at the top, is the Ames pH, and the red line, or the severely sloping downward line, is the Flint pH. And if you just compare Flint, that is less than a year's worth of data. So you can see over time, Ames keeps it consistent. And we keep it because we have consistent quality groundwater. Our water chemistry doesn't change. We've used these wells for decades, and the water quality continues to be very stable. Places like Flint use surface water, which can be highly variable. Another reason that we can provide such consistent groundwater or consistent water quality is because of our treatment process. Our plant was designed to meet and maintain these high standards of water quality. And even though our plant is 2 years old, I just wanted to make note that our former plant, our old water plant, also was able and did produce the high quality water. Another reason are the people we have in Ames. We have water plant staff who are constantly, continuously monitoring the water quality and making adjustments to make sure that the chemistry is what we expect it to be, so we don't have any problems out in our distribution system. We also have a series of checks. So this is our laboratory services division, who perform distribution analysis. They're out sampling twice a week to check the water quality out in the system. We also have our public works group. They're responsible for a lot of things, including flushing the water mains, making sure that the water is turning over in the community, making sure we don't have any stagnant pockets of water out there. They're the ones also responsible for replacing the water mains. And when they replace water mains, they're also replacing any lead service lines that they find. And so that is being taken care of as part of the construction. They also, during construction, if they happen to uncover a lead service line, are replacing that. They're required to replace, not just bury any lead that they find out in the system. Now, the one thing is the utility can do everything perfect. They can do everything in their control, but the homeowners have responsibilities as well. You can see on the left side, we've got the public side, or what's responsible by the utility, and the blue or the right side is what's responsible by the homeowner. So the homeowner does have some involvement in their own water quality. One thing a homeowner can do is look and see what type of pipe material you have inside the facility. What's your interior plumbing? Is it copper? Do you have an older home where it might have some lead solder? If you have these and you don't have anything else in your house, the water coming from the utility is providing that same eggshell protection. However, if you decide to put in a water softener or maybe a reverse osmosis unit, please know and please be aware that it does change your water chemistry, and so you should be at least understanding that there may be changes within your home plumbing. But some of the places you can find answers to this is come visit us at the water plant. We're very knowledgeable, but we're also very passionate and love to share and talk about what we do. Anytime we can get a public event or an open house, we would welcome questions, especially if it involves things that are going on in your home and concerns about lead and copper and things like that. Most of you are aware that we built a new water treatment plant and we invited the public in. We're very excited to show it off. It was a great opportunity for staff and the community, as well as our city council, our governing body, to be able to work together, come together and celebrate this, but also be able to share information. And we believe that as long as we continue working together with the utility, the community members, and our city council, that we'll make and have the best information needed to make the best decisions for our community and continue to provide safe, quality water for the City of Ames.